Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you doing today?
You guys, it's a beautiful, sunshiny day today. And we've actually had a pretty good day today, but we're still having Gary rest and recoup quite a bit.
Yeah. It's at that point where, I feel like I can get up there and get work going, but I'm afraid that the second I do something or turn the wrong way, I'm going to be down.
Yeah.
And I'm back to square one.
Yeah.
Because, it's at that point.
And we definitely don't need that, which leads us to why we are in the car right now. So I'm actually taking Gary's butt back to the chiropractor again to get him snapped, crackled, and popped one more time at least before we start getting busy. Hopefully tomorrow on the cabin again.
I'm really hoping that today is going to be like that magical, if you know what I mean.
Well, Gary's been to the chiropractor since his initial injury. You've already been there, 3 times? Or this will be the 3rd?
I think this is going to be the 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
he's been there a couple of times though since he actually originally got injured. And man, you poor thing, you've been laid up in bed like this whole time, and I know it's been killing you.
It's been driving me nuts. I tried walking it out, and I tried working on the car, and doing all that stuff, but it was almost like exactly what I was scared of. I don't know if I did more good than harm. I feel like I did more harm than good by trying to walk it out that time and working on the car.
Yeah.
Because, it was not fun. I could not get up out of bed for a second after that.
Yeah, it's all right, though. I've been holding down the fort and trying to take care of Gary as best as I can, making him all the good food and waiting on him and back massages and doing the work around the house to the best of my ability. I'm trying to get all the staining done, which I got that whole half pallet done, but I haven't done anything since then.
No.
I needed a day to go to the chiropractor my own self from being hunched over on those sawhorses. And then I've just been busy with taking care of Gary and then household domestic stuff that needed doing. And then also I brought it up the last time that that I did Real Talk. I was solo because it was like the day that Gary, like the night before that was when Gary got hurt. And so then the last time I did Real Talk, which, sorry friends, I know it's been quite a while.
No.
But I had talked to you guys about having like a change of format here on Real Talk on how we want to make this channel be more like topic conversational and then bring everybody on Simple Life a bit more behind the scenes so that way everybody can be kind of caught up on the same thing. Because I feel like a lot of that's my fault because of the avenues that I'm posting and what we're posting and where and stuff. So anyway, all that being said, this week, while waiting on Gary and like doing what I can do, some of the things that I've been doing has been all behind the scenes, getting everything ready for our big format change, which is coming tomorrow, friends. Tomorrow here on Real Talk, we're going to start our first, podcast, make it more topic conversational, less behind the scenes of like how today's video is. And we're just going to kind of go from there. I had to scout out a lot of different topics that me and Gary wanted to talk about and, different steps along our journey and kind of get us some bullet points and stuff to work with so that way we're not going squirrel so much. We're keeping it a little bit more structured. We're going to try to keep it a little bit more structured over here on Real Talk, but at the same time, keep it very raw and authentic and not really planned. The only kind of planning that I want to do is the plans of the topic and maybe some like prompts of what we're going to talk to each other about and stuff. But anyways,
it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and I feel like it's going to be a really good change in format. I think it'll freshen things up over here on Real Talk and keep this more of just our talking channel. And then, over on Simple Life, we will be talking over there too, friends, because talking is a part of how we share our experiences. But it'll be more behind the scenes, like walking around and doing while we talk, I guess. And those videos will be just kind of randomly put in with our edited stuff. So anyways, enough about the topic of conversational changes and the channel changes and stuff. Today we are going to go to Fort Smith, though. We're going to get Gary's back all taken care of.
Yep.
And I got to run some errands. I got to get some coffee creamer. And actually, Gary, I wanted to do something kind of nice for you. I know, you see, I want to do something nice for you. I know you don't really know about this yet, but...
what do you want?
I have a pit stop that it's not what I want, it's what you want. I got a pit stop in mind.
What do you want?
It's not about what I want, it's about what you want. I was thinking that, your birthday's coming up this month, and Father's Day is like this weekend and stuff, and I was thinking I could get a 2-for-1 and get you a nice gift, and I want you to be there when we pick it out. So I was thinking about today, maybe after the chiropractor appointment, I could take you to go take a look at some of them. And I was thinking about getting you a smoker.
Okay.
I know you got a cool barbecue grill, but I see you have the smoker envy every time that we have smoked food over at Anthony's, and then like David's got the big green egg and stuff. And
well, I'm not a big kitchen guy, but I'm a big grill guy. I love grilling.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of grilling, and I would love to be able to, make my own bacon, my own jerky, my own, that kind of stuff. And with a smoker, you can do a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So...
Well, I know that you've been wanting one for a while, and I don't know exactly the kind that you want, or even where they have them for sale. We're going to go... That's why I wanted to kind of tag along today. Also, I know you needed me to drive you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. The last time I went, I did drive by myself to the chiropractor, and, as it's great going to the chiropractor and everything, it's an hour drive one way, and it's how I injured my back, from what I can gather and everything, was sitting.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta sit for an hour.
Yeah.
All the way there and back, so by the time I get back, it feels like I did nothing, and I'm back at square one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that with you driving, I can buckle myself in the back somehow and lay down to where it's like whatever,
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where I'm hoping.
It sounds weird you hurt yourself while sitting.
I know.
Please expand on this.
So you ended up getting me something else while you were out in town, and you video called me, and I was like, I'm gonna sit for this, so I'm gonna get myself nice and comfortable. I wanted to take a break. And I was just getting done moving all the stuff inside the house and getting everything situated and cleaned up and all that fun stuff. So I was like, all right, this is perfect. Take a little break, talk to you, sit down, not thinking anything of it. Like, I'm sitting down, Well, nothing, like, I didn't feel anything until I got up, and then I was like, oh, and couldn't get up. So, yeah, and I don't know what the heck happened, exactly how I sat. It definitely did not help from what the chiropractor said. So, I've been sitting a little bit more straighter. As you can tell, I'm a little bit taller, but then at the same time, I'm touching the top of the car right now. So it's like...
Well, the thing is like...
for me to be comfortable in any seat, I gotta sort of slouch and get it to... It's like, oh, okay, I'm comfortable. And I can't help being tall.
Yeah,
and
you're really
made
tall.
For short people, so I slouch to accommodate myself.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I walk into a door, I sort of duck.
I do the same
Even
thing,
if
but
I can't.
I have naturally really bad posture in my shoulders. Like I always slench my shoulders. I always got to remember, Melanie, put those boobies out. That's what I always say. I'm not really trying to do that, but like
no, but
if
when you do
but
it
when
makes
I
you
do
feel
that,
like you are. Like,
it does when I put my
makes you
shoulders
feel like you're
back.
puffing your chest out.
Exactly, like you're puffing your chest out.
know.
And so like I always have to like remind myself, Melanie, shoulders back.
It's not puffing your chest out. It's just how you're supposed to sit.
I know.
Stand.
I know. It's
posture.
It's proper posture. But I always have those rolled shoulders, and I always have to remind myself to do that. But you have rolled shoulders, but you sit on like your back. You don't sit on your butt. You sit on your back a lot of the times.
And I find it to be comfortable. I mean, at least I did until that happened, and then now I'm like, I can't move. I'm stuck in a hunch. I'm stuck in a seat.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? We're paying for it. Now we just gotta remind ourselves to have better posture and then go to the chiropractor and just take care of ourselves as best as we possibly can. And we're gonna keep building this house, friends.
Well, I'll tell you what, sitting on this pillow is definitely helping.
Yeah?
That's what he said. You know, put a pillow underneath your butt. That way your butt is basically being your support, not your back.
Not your back.
Not my hips.
Yeah.
Or pelvis or whatever. You know.
Yeah, because you don't sit on like your butt, you sit on like your lower back.
Yeah.
Like that's how naturally how you tend to sit. You like lean back so low to where like you're sitting on your back.
It tends to go that way.
I know.
Most seats are like curved like that to a point where it's like you end up in that position. If you like sit there for long periods of time and move around a little bit, which I can't help but move around.
Yeah.
That's it goes against me.
Well,
I've got ADHD.
We're gonna try to get your back situated today though, and I really do want to take you, if you could stand getting up and walking around so much, I'd love to take you to go check out some smokers.
And I'm not gonna argue with that,
because I don't know how many more times we're gonna be in Fort Smith before Father's Day, and I'd like you to have it before then, and it'll also be your Father's Day and birthday present though. Because we got Father's Day this weekend and then your birthday's next weekend. Not saying I'm not going to do anything nice for you, but like that would be your present.
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to argue it at all. I'm down. You don't got to hear me complain whatsoever.
Do you have any idea what kind you want? I think Anthony got like the Grill Master one.
He got a Pit Boss.
A Pit Boss, okay.
And I'm looking at the Pit Boss series as well, but a little different than what his is. His is like the grill and smoker at the same. Which I've already got a really nice grill, and I've got a really nice Blackstone type flat top, right? So I don't really like need that style. It's cool and all. I'm not gonna lie. That's really awesome. But I feel like I'd use it more in just like a smoker style.
So
versus
like
just a grill and a smoker.
So just like a stand-up smoker type thing?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I definitely want it to be a pellet stove. I know that there's a lot of electric ones in the same exact style that I'm looking at and are a lot cheaper. But from what I've seen with Anthony's, experience and all that, it definitely showed me to where it was like, I don't know. Because his didn't last that long. That was an electric one. And that's why he was like, man, I gotta go buy a different one, and he bought the name brand Pit Boss one. So, and that thing, man, that thing smokes.
It does.
It does make me a little jelly. It's
so good though.
It's that whole commercial. I forget exactly what barbecue smoker pellets it was for the commercial, but it's like this guy's sitting there and he's all, man, why is this guy smoking so much? And he's like with the leaf blower blowing the smoke back into the neighbor's yard, and then the wife's like, you should just get a smoker and then smoke yourself, and then later on he's like, all right, he's smoking it and doing everything, and then the wife's all, this doesn't smell like his, it doesn't, whatever, and then he like sitting there looking at his neighbor, like picking it out at the store and everything, like straight up like hiding behind the shelf. That's the one he's getting. All right. It was pretty funny. I was like, man, that's pretty comical right there. That is a total like I don't know, suburban or suburbia type.
I don't remember that commercial, but anytime I think about
hilarious.
barbecue commercials, all I ever think of is what is it? Next Friday. Barbecue so good makes me want to smack your mama.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Friday after. I think it's Friday after next. Maybe it's next Friday, or I don't know.
I think it is Friday after next.
Yeah, I think it is. Barbecue so good makes me want to smack your mama.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember exactly, but no, it's
That's all I had.
Well, thank you, baby. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, you're welcome. I love you.
So.
And the kids love you, and you work really hard, and I know you've been wanting it for a really long time. And yeah, I know that you've already gotten something else that you really wanted this year. And, you know.
That's where I wasn't even expecting anything really, you know.
Surprise!
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I love you.
That's gonna be some good cooking. That's the man's way of, you know, a slow roaster, or you know.
Well, see,
one of the
like you were
thingies.
asking me in the beginning, like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So I'm getting something out of this too, friends, because I don't have to cook dinner in the summertime when Gary has the grill and the smoker. Like, I'll just have to make the side dishes. Gary can make like the main course, and you'll be more happy to do it, you know.
Yeah.
Because you'll have a new gadget to play with.
That's gonna.
And I love when you cook the main courses. I love when you barbecue. You do really good. It's delicious.
I'm trying to think now. Now I changed some plans around a little bit. Okay.
Oh yeah?
I know what I want to do now.
Oh yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Father's Day is coming. I mean, hey, now that with that, shoot, I'll smoke us up something.
Heck yeah.
Something.
Heck yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to all the good eats.
I want to do some fishing though too.
Yeah.
I haven't done any real fishing this year.
Well, you've been laid up in bed, man, for like ever since the weather's been decent. Like, the weather finally looks like it's going to be giving us a break. We do have yet again more rain on the agenda. I'm so sick of talking about it, but it is what it is. But for at least the next few days, we've got some decent weather. So I'm hoping that Gary and I can divide and conquer. You can.
Well, I'm getting up on that roof tomorrow. I'm not stopping. I'm getting up there. Regardless.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my back brace on because I do have a lot of them, and I just bought a new, good, like, compression one. And my other one that I've been wearing for the last 5-8 years or whatever, the Velcro's like out.
Yeah, you just need to toss that thing.
But the back on it, like, I haven't been able to find the same one. I need to find one on Amazon.
Yeah, the thing is like you have it, but you don't wear it because it has this Velcro thing you don't like. So you just throw it away.
Well, I'm gonna
because
put
you don't
that
use
one.
it.
Well, I'm gonna put that one on, and then I'm gonna put the new compression one that I got. That's just like double it up to where it's like now that thing ain't getting off of me and it ain't coming off.
See, well, that's different. I was thinking you were just gonna like.
Nice.
Ooh, sorry guys. You saw it before I did. I was looking over.
Well, he was over on this side. I don't know why he went over to that side.
I don't know. And we got to be careful too because we're still riding on what is it? Plugged tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one on the side wall didn't seem to hold too well. I mean, it's holding with what it needs to do, but definitely want to air it up anytime you're gonna go.
I know, and that's another thing. We're gonna have to. We definitely have to get some tires going on before we make our trip to Tennessee for Freedom Weekend.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be hauling our pop-up camper, and it's quite a few miles to drive. You know, so we're definitely gonna want to. I don't know if we can get all 4 tires, but we can get 2, right?
We definitely should get 2 at least.
We should get the 2.
We're most likely going to get the 2. If we can swing it and get 4 of them, then
the only way that so here's the thing: we can swing it and get 4 if I don't get you a smoker.
Yeah.
But I want you to have a smoker for Father's Day and your birthday. It's like I don't want happy birthday, happy Father's Day. Let's get some tires. Like, I mean, that's the responsible thing to do. And that's like the grown-up way. That's what we normally do. I know, but like,
to me,
I just feel bad because you've been laid up in bed. You're miserable. I want to get you something to make you feel a little better. Like, I know you've been wanting this. The time is kind of now, but legit though, if we want 4 tires, it's either smoker or tires.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, maybe we can just scratch through with just getting just 2 of the tires, and then we can have both, and then we can get the other 2 maybe like next month.
We could. I mean, it's one of those, you know.
I think that's what's going to happen. What's the worst that would happen if that's what happened? Nothing. I remember us having to go all the time to the Lalantas. and get the used tires, $25 make you holler. So
yeah,
and we rode those things till they fell off, literally.
It wasn't always the smartest move, but at the same time was the move that we could afford
At the time, right?
you know. But yeah, no, and that's partly where it's like, man, I want to be resourceful and only use what we need or get what we need, you know. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's, I'd rather get 4 tires. Whenever you buy new tires, it's always like, you know, we've had those times and those blowouts at curves and that kind of stuff to where it's like, yeah, no,
Well,
I'd rather buy the better ones.
we'll see what we can swing, because I don't think we can
we'll
swing
see.
all of it.
I don't think we can right now, but we'll definitely get 2 new tires and replace the 2 that I plugged. But they're holding right now. The one that I plugged on the normal tread, the way that you're, you know,
Supposed to.
you're supposed to, where it's like okay to do it. That one's holding fine. That one's great.
It's the
How
sidewall
it needs to be,
one, huh?
you know. It's this one where the sidewall is. It's where it's like, I was like, I've done it literally probably like 8 times now, and I've only had 1 out of the 8 that actually worked.
Wait, you haven't plugged these tires 8 times?
No,
just
in my life.
your lifetime you've
in my
plugged.
lifetime,
Okay.
I've plugged.
Okay, good clarification, because you know that was confusing to me, and I
No,
guarantee
I've
it was
plugged it.
confusing to somebody else. They're
I
like, "What?
plugged it
You
literally.
plugged that tire?"
I've plugged multiple tires throughout, you know, my life, and I've done it really great times, you know. If it's in the tread, it's great. It should work exactly how it's supposed to be, you know. And that's mainly because of all the off-road repairs, you know. When you're out doing stuff, you don't really have a whole lot of options, you know. Especially when you blow 2 tires or something like that.
Yeah.
When you get a good gash on the side, that's a different story. But being in the desert, it was a lot of the times it was the cactuses.
Yeah, like the
needles,
the
dude.
needles.
Like,
Yeah, those ones would be pretty treacherous.
so it's like, man, all right, well, I went into a sticker bush, and now this tire's flat, and now I got to pull all these things out and try to stick it up, you know. And it's always the ones in the sidewall where you're like, I don't think this one's gonna hold that well. It will hold on the trail, but we'll see. It worked to get us off the trail, but
well, we're gonna have to. I say we at least get 2 tires,
yes,
because I want you to have. I know. Okay, look at normal, responsible Mel would say, let's just get all 4 tires. Sorry, Charlie, you got a good something this year already with your vroom vroom.
yeah.
But
tires. I mean, I'm fine with that.
But I want you to. I know you've been literally like I've been looking over your shoulder. I've been seeing what you're searching. I've been seeing that you're looking at it and ogling at it. You got that wandering eye already.
I can't help it.
What's the
Alright,
next thing you want? And I mean, your birthday. You're turning 35, so you're still very young. But at the same time, 35 is a pretty important birthday, and it's Father's Day. And I'm like, you know what? We can.
I at least accomplished something as far as I know. I wish there was some wood in here. I shouldn't say it. Because there's still time. There's still time. But I've always said it, you know, for a very long time, especially in my younger years is when I was saying it, is that by the time I'm 35, I'm going to be walking around with a walker or a cane.
Oh gosh, don't wish that on yourself.
No, I know, but hey, I'm not, right? I mean, I did get hit by a car.
Yeah.
They did tell me I was not going to be able to walk right, you know.
I know, and then what did you do? You got better and got on a skateboard instead.
And broke many bones and everything else. So I mean, like there's
I'll show you.
there's
Tell
a
me
lot
I
of
can't
things
walk.
to
Fine,
it, right?
I won't walk.
And that's
I'll
where,
skate.
No, I know, but that's where I'm saying, like, it's like, man, the things that I put my body through, it's like I thought for sure that by the time I was 35, I was going to be in a walker, you know. And look at me, I'm not. There's still time, but
you're gonna be just fine, sweetheart. You're gonna be just fine. You just need to listen to your body and take breaks when you need to. And if it takes a week of laying up and resting and recovering, well, then that's what it takes.
You know what throws me off? Is getting all those stupid pamphlets in the mail.
Oh my gosh.
About freaking some sort of, you know, elderly bath, you know, that's got the door and all the jets and everything
baths
to
look
easy
so
in and
cool,
out.
though.
They're super cool. But come on, man. I'm like, dude, what the heck? And it's addressed to me. I'm like, hey, no, me. I'm like, I'm the youngest on this property. Like, I don't.
You
what?
are the youngest on the property
How?
besides
Why?
the kids,
How
right?
am I getting this delivered to me? Like somebody pulling a prank on me?
No, it's because we've been going to the chiropractor. You're now on a list.
I don't know, dude. I swear.
I think that's what it is.
I feel like somebody's pulling a prank on me.
No, I think that you're starting to get all
I've gotten
this
it like 5 times. All right,
AARP.
I'm just saying. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, I'm not even close to any of the. Why am I? Huh?
I think you're getting it because you go to the chiropractor and
I'm a little confused right
your
now.
body's all beat up, so they think that you're older. I don't know. Obviously, it's not based off of your birthday, because
no, and that's where I'm a little
you know?
confused. I'm a little scratching my head, like, what the heck?
I think it's because you've gone to these different places.
I'm looking at this thing like, do they realize how old I am or something? Like, I don't know.
No,
I'm not.
I think it's because you've gone to these different places and, have
really makes me wonder. I want to call them.
Physical issues.
I want to call them and be like, hey, I keep getting this advertisement.
Yeah.
How'd you get my name and my address?
No, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you, but that's okay. But those bathtub jet things look super badass.
Look super cool.
They look really nice. They have a door. You can just walk in. You don't got to lift your leg up that high. Sit down on the jets.
It would be really nice to have. I'm not gonna lie, but it just makes me sit there and scratch my head and be like, "What the heck?"
Speaking of all of the jets and stuff, another little side skeet that we got to go do today. So you guys know we got a hot tub, and it had been kind of closed up for a little while because of all the weather and stuff. And so anyway, we didn't put any new chlorine or anything in there, and so the water was getting kind of nasty, right? So while Gary's laid up, I went ahead and we got it all drained and I got it all cleaned out and I refilled it with some water so that way Gary can use the hot tub to recoup his body. And I wanted to get like new chemicals and stuff in there because again, it had been a couple weeks. The water started getting a little funky, so it needed to be refreshed. But
man, the second I threw that in there,
man, it sucks. So I got it completely cleaned. I cleaned it with a magic eraser. I got it completely drained and refilled back up. But even though we have a sand filter, and I don't know why it didn't do it the first time that we filled up the hot tub, but our sand filter is not filtering the water as it should be anymore. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if we need to add new sand into the sand filter, scrape off the nasty layer of sand, or what is exactly going on.
We're gonna have to.
But our sand filter is not filtering and working properly as it should, and we've had this thing for 6 months. I'm not very pleased. I'm just telling you right now, I am not pleased.
We're gonna have to dive into it. I have a feeling that we're going to have to, exactly like what you said, scrape it down a little bit, add more sand into there, and just keep repeating that process until it's full. And then from there, go from there.
Yeah, because so our sand filter's not working very good, all right? And the water that's coming through our pipes is not as nasty as it was before we got the sand filter. However, it is not nearly as clean. And it's to the point where, you remember that one video that we put out where we filled up a giant above ground pool, and then the second that we put in the chlorine, the water turned chocolate brown, chocolate milk? Yeah, that happened to our hot tub, and I refuse to run the jets and get all that going through the hot tub because I don't want, it's just once it goes through all that stuff, now it's through all that stuff. So the hot tub right now, I tried my hardest. Like I cleaned up everything, tried to get it all ready, but it went chocolate milk brown the second we put in the chemicals. So it's sitting at the house right now full of this brown water. And that's another thing that we're gonna do when we are out and about today. I wanna stop somewhere, and they sell these little filters that you can put on a hose itself. And I'm gonna get one of those and put it on the end of our hose, so that way we can at least fill up the freaking hot tub and get Gary soaking in that thing with the jets and the bubbles and all that. That's where, see, I made the circle. I went from talking about the bathtub to the hot tub, made the circle. I didn't squirrel too much.
And that isn't too bad on sitting down and getting, in there and submerged. What it is, the hot tub right now, or the bathtub right now, if I were to take a bath, the problem is laying down and then trying to get back up from that.
Well, and also you can't fully stretch out like you can in the hot tub.
No, I can't. I mean,
The hot tub you can actually fully stretch
Bathtub.
out, you know, and it has the bubbles and stuff.
Mhm.
So like it's way better than just the bathtub.
The bathtub on the bottom is majority of the time, from my buttocks all the way to my head. I fit that full length.
Yeah.
In the bigger 32-inch bathtub, you know.
Yeah.
It's still, oh man.
So yeah, so there's that, friends. So there's that. So there's another thing that we're gonna have to try to figure out and fix and situate, and I don't know. I'm not happy with the whole sand filter thing though. Like, I was thrilled with it. I will say, absolutely thrilled with it. When it's working, it works phenomenally. Like, it changed the game.
Oh.
Why do we have a fly? Out of all the gosh, can the flies get away?
Well, they ain't gonna go anywhere.
Go away, fly!
They're here to stay.
The land of the flies, Arkansas.
It's warming up.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so the sand filter, like, I'm not super happy with it because first off, it took us so long for us to get it installed, which I understand, life situation. I'm not, you know, it's just there's one person that does it in our area, and from the day that I called to the day that it got installed, it took us a calendar year. 1 year from the day that I called and I said, hey, I want to get a sand filter, to the day that they were finally over there getting it done. 1 year later. And here we are, 6 months pretty much. Well, no, October, November, it's June. So like, let's say seven months. All right. Let's say 7 months from the day that we got it installed till now. And it's like our water's crap again. And we spent thousands upon thousands of dollars for this, dude. It wasn't cheap. It was like, it was a lot of money.
However, they said that
doesn't work.
So, however, they say that, you know, we're going to have to maintain it at least every year, you know, in that aspect. We've got 2 families on it, so
yeah, but
it's going to be close to about every half a year, in the sense of, like, we're going to have to do something.
Well,
we don't have to. We could just keep it rolling. It's a lot better than what it was, but that's where it comes into play.
But that's why we got sold on the bigger sand filter system, was so that way it wouldn't be every 6 months, it was going to be every year. So I mean, saying the whole it's split between 2 families thing, that's not really viable, because we went with the upgraded system. So I know what you're saying, but on the other side, I'm like, I don't know, friends. I'm just kind of agitated with that, because we spent so much money.
I didn't believe that.
It was so much work.
That was going to change that aspect. We just needed that bigger reservoir, because we were having 2 families pull from one reservoir versus, you know, just one person or one family pulling from that reservoir,
well,
you know. So
we're going to have to do something. I feel like within the next few weeks we'll tackle that. For right now, we're just going to keep turning a blind eye at it, just because Gary's not in fully recovered mode.
I can't shovel sand right now.
No, I can. However,
I can't shovel sand right now. Come on, y'all.
No. We're just gonna have to band-aid it. We're just gonna have to make do with it, with what it is. But our water isn't very good right now. Well, we do have the filters still on our house, which is the saving grace for our actual inside our home. And inside our home isn't suffering. It's just literally the hoses outside. So like when I go to fill up the dog water and when I go to fill up the hot tub and stuff like that, there's like these little minuscule particles of rust in there, more than what there was before, which now if you oxidize it, like with putting the chlorine and stuff in there, it shows up bright brown. Or if you let it sit outside, after I fill up the dog waters and stuff, it sits in the bowl, the goat one too. It'll sit in that big 55-gallon bowl, but then after about an hour or so, the water settles and the particles drop down to the bottom, and you could really see what's inside that water, and it's sludgy. It's not the greatest. So what we're going to do for the Band-Aid for the time being is we're going to get one of those hose filter bib things.
Yes.
So it's like a hose, and it has this filter on it, and we're going to probably have to buy a couple of those to replace it and refresh it. You know what I mean?
I feel like one will fill up that pool, or that
the hot tub.
The hot tub.
One will, and then it'll be trash.
Correct.
Okay.
And it'll be pretty much that's it. You know,
maybe we'll
ran into this with the with the big pool.
Yeah.
When we ran it, you know, because we were like, oh, let's do that and change it out. Well, we did change it out for 2 times through trying to fill that thing. think we ended up doing it 3 times.
Yeah, but it was still like the water was so
it
bad.
It still turned freaking super oxidized.
And I don't.
And the only way that we were able to even get it under control was that filter setup until it got to a point of algae everywhere, and then it was a nightmare to try to get rid of.
Yeah, the algae in the above ground pool.
It was a whole nightmare, to be quite honest, where it's the biggest headache, I feel like, with above ground pools.
Until we get a sand filter for the above ground pool, and also we need to get one of those creepy crawly things that go inside the pool and like clean it for you. Yes. Until we get those two things. That actually
works for an above ground pool.
Yeah. And until we get those 2 things, I don't see us setting up our above ground pool. And so definitely not this year, because we're trying to keep our eye on the prize of finishing our cabin, at least to the point where we're moved upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then with back injuries and then freaking rain every other 2 days, I don't even know if that's possible. We're still really hopeful. Like, that's still our goal. But if we don't reach it, we're not going to beat ourselves up. But that's still what we're really trying to stay focused on here.
Yeah. Definitely going to be wanting to do some swimming, though.
Yeah, we should go to the lake.
The aerobics of it definitely helps out a lot with the lower hips and everything else like that.
Yeah. I wish that we had, like, you remember LVAC, like Las Vegas Athletic Club? Mm-hmm. I wish we had, like, an LVAC out here.
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah. They do have a pool in Boonville.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about a pool. I'm talking about like a whole full-on like
no,
like
I know
gym.
Exactly
what you know what I mean? Where they got like all the machines there, and they have the pool and the saunas and the hot tubs, and then the racquetball and you know all the things that they usually have at gyms, but they don't have any like that out here. At least not anywhere close. They might have something in Fort Smith, but
in the bigger towns you'll get certain things like that.
But I don't think they have any big ones like. I was a LVAC gym member for years and years and years, and I used the heck out of my membership, man. Yeah. I was at the gym all the time. So I enjoy it, but out here I get my homestead gym. I get my gym going on with building this house and moving lumber around and stuff, you know. But there were benefits that I liked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we got lakes. We got the natural gym out here now.
Yep.
We got the natural gym. You know, stack firewood. Go swim at the lake.
100%. I mean, we're in the perfect spot for it all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's I see why Arkansas is known as the nature state, you know.
Oh, for sure.
The gem state or whatever.
It's the natural state.
Natural state.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous out here, guys. I love living out here.
There's a lot to it. There's a lot of cutways, a lot of, you know.
Well, you got to take the beauty. And you got to take the good with the bad. Like, you're not going to live in a beautiful place like this with all of the creeks and rivers and streams and lakes and all this stuff, with all the beautiful trees and valleys, and like without some of the weather that we have to endure.
Correct.
And I know that the weather has been like the bane of our existence for a while, and it's going to continue to be until we get full on into summer, and then it's just going to be so miserable, you know, like the devil's armpit, basically. But it's part of what you deal with in order to live in such beauty. So, and it's okay. Things are going to happen just when they're meant to happen and as they're meant to happen, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. But we're getting a little bit closer, friends. I can't believe I've been sitting here blabbering this long with you guys. It's just been such a long time since we've done a Real Talk episode, and I guess we had a lot to say. But I'm going to jump off of this thing. I want to remind you guys that tomorrow we're going to start the new format on Real Talk. And what we're doing, just so you guys are aware, we are going to be pre-recording some of our episodes, so we're not going to be recording it every single day. We're going to spend one day and record for the week for Real Talk with a bunch of different topic ideas, so that way it's going to free up some more time for us during the week. You guys will still be able to see us each and every day. And we're going to keep it topic conversational and keep a lot of this behind the scenes stuff of going places and showing you things and doing all that. We're going to put that on Simple Life. So if anything, I feel like you guys are going to be able to see us and get to know us even better with the new format. I hope that you guys thoroughly enjoy it. I know that we're having a blast doing it behind the scenes. It's been different, huh, babe?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But anyway, guys, we're gonna run, turn up the music, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching today's episode of Real Talk with SLR. Stay tuned tomorrow for the new format, and until the next one, friends, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.
I can't believe we talk so much.